guys, this is my Ormsby GTR SX. Had it for well over a month now, probably close to 2 months. Just thought I'd give you a bit of feedback on it, what my experience has been with it so far, and you know how it's going basically. I'll start off with, I guess, the negatives, that sort of thing with it. Anyone that's heard the stories, kept up with the Facebook group, all the rest of that, be aware there's been a few hiccups along the way from, I guess, the beginning of the idea through the ordering, getting them built, getting them sent here and all the rest of it. You know, stuff that sort of comes along with doing this for the first time, you know, getting parts made, that type of deal. So yeah, that was, you know, it took a little bit longer than I suppose it was originally going to, but it made it here in the end. We got here, and so far I'm really stoked with it. Overall, I think the wait was worth it. I think from the price point, you know, you definitely get a lot of guitar for the price. I guess the only real issues I've had with it apart from that is there's a very, very slight mark on the side of the fretboard where you can see a little bit of the metallic undercoat, which when they mastered off the painting, a little bit has hit the side of there. So I've got like a little shiny triangle. It's about that big, which you've kind of got to get it in the right light to even see that. And that's pretty much it as far as the issues with it go. It's just that, and yeah, the wait time. But you know, in the future, the wait time, that sort of thing, is going to really be an issue. So yeah, that's that in a nutshell. I guess the positives and that sort of thing with it. Well, we had a choice between the hype shape and the SX shape. I went with the SX. It's a really sort of comfortable body shape. Anyone who's familiar with, I guess, an Ibanez RG or some of your ESP Strat shapes or the Jackson Strat shapes, it's a similar thickness to what those are. For me, I'm primarily, for the last few years, I've been an Ibanez player. And to me, this feels like a cut down RG body with a lot of little innovations and comfort curves and all that kind of thing thrown in. You know, there's a crazy cutaway up here, 29 frets, so you know, 24 frets there. There's nothing in the way. The neck join, you know, it's a set neck. You don't even notice that. I mean, going for the 29th fret, that actually just sits right in your hand like that sort of thing. Yeah, it's kind of cool because with these, you can kind of see where, you know, obviously Ormsby has built a name on being, you know, a custom shop, and you can see where these have sort of been based on, I guess, a lot of those custom innovations and those little designs and that sort of thing come into play with this. Like, you know, the neck profile, it's, you know, it's not an overly thick profile. It's a little bit thicker than an Ibanez or something like that. Reasonably flat on the back. I wouldn't say it's a dead flat sort of profile. Very slight shoulders, very soft shoulders on it. They're not as hard or as pronounced as I've come across in a lot of other guitars. It sits in your hand really nicely, and it kind of works with the fan as well because you can anchor your thumb right in the center of it in the flat spot. It sort of holds you, you know, basically where you're going to put your hand anyway when you're sliding up and down. So yeah, all that works really fine. The input jack as well, coming from being an Ibanez player, all my universes and stuff have that cool little recessed jack that angles the lead like that. I've always been a fan of that. That's a cool little touch that these have got. As far as the pickups go in it, I've found them pretty versatile. Digging the sounds I can get out of them. They're not as not as aggressive or as hot as what I'm usually used to. I guess pickups I've used in the past and lately is stuff like Seymour Duncan distortions, a couple of different types of bare knuckles, all that type of deal. These are a little bit more subdued, a little bit more defined, I guess, and you've got to sort of, if you're playing high gain stuff, you're more relying on your amp for that as opposed to what I normally do, where I've got a pickup that's going to push the front of the amp a little bit more and make it snarl and do that. That's the only real adjustment I've had to make as far as tone-wise to use this, but it hasn't caused a problem or made it more difficult for me to get a sound I like or anything. It's just I have to approach the guitar a little bit differently to what I would from some of the other guitars that I've modified with pickups and that kind of thing. But as you can see, you probably can't see them on the camera, but there's already some pretty heavy wear marks on this guitar, just to prove how much I am genuinely playing this thing. Yeah, it's already getting pretty scratched up. It's probably getting about 2 or 3 hours use a day. And I'm not somebody who is limited by a number of guitars to play. I actually own quite a few, and this one is getting quite a workout. But yeah, so basically I've found the nunchucker to be very much something I can use. The single coil in the neck, as far as using that and the coil split, you can basically turn this thing into a very classic, very stereotypical Strat sounding guitar. You know, you do that, you're jumping around with a lot of very Strat-like sounds. The only, I guess I play a lot of high gain stuff, so where I have my limitations with that is using the neck pickup. You need a decent noise gate. Obviously, it doesn't have the hum bucking, I guess, potential of what this does, and it does get a little bit boomy on the lower strings. I've noticed under high gain on the single coil, but doing clean to dirty sounding stuff with the coil split and the neck, you can get some really cool sounding stuff. You know, jazzy, classic rock, all that kind of deal. It all works really well on this, and yeah, flick of a switch and stuff, and hit the channel on your amp and you're in death metal mode, which is pretty cool to have. Not something I use a lot, but it's really cool to have. Another thing I noticed with the guitar is it's actually a lot lighter than I thought it would be. I remember when I first got it, opened the case and sort of picked it up, I was actually surprised at how light this thing was compared to, I guess, the weight that I would usually consider a guitar to be of this sort of style. So yeah, that's my little rundown on this thing so far. Really digging it. Actually, I'm already considering maybe picking up a second one, maybe a slightly different model or a different finish or something like that. But I guess for me, at the price point, especially being a guitar player and a reasonable guitar collector in Australia, actually having something like this, something with these specs, something, you know, stainless steel frets, ebony board, multi-scale, that we can pick up and I don't have to order from overseas. They're now available around Australia. You can actually go in and pick them up. I think that's really cool, especially probably a lot of the Aussie guys will be pretty stoked that we actually have something like this available to us and we're not having to pay import fees and customs and ridiculous shipping, which I've done a lot of in the past. And this is first time I've been able to get something like this from inside Australia. But yeah, really happy with it. Not much else I can really say about it at the moment. I think I've pretty much covered everything. So thanks for watching the video, and yeah, cheers to all the guys at Ormsby, cheers to Perry, cheers to guys who are running the Facebook group and putting up with all all the crazy stuff that's been thrown their way during that, and all the trials and tribulations of getting these things out there. It turned out well, guys. You did good, and yeah, thank you to everybody for watching. Cheers.